It's been a difficult week for Keir Starmer as accusations of anti-Semitism have derailed the Labour Party's campaign for the Rochdale by-election next week. Our leaks, gaffes and here we go again correspondent Jonathan Goodenough has more. Yes, that's right, the Labour leader pledged when he took on the job that he would root out anti-Semitism from the party, but the issue continues to dog him. Because of the anti-Semitism? Because of the anti-Semitism. Keir Starmer has now suspended 2 prospective parliamentary candidates pending an investigation, but critics are wondering, is that as far as it goes? So could this affect Labour's lead in the polls? Well, 2 groups of people certainly hope so. Which 2 groups? Their political opponents, of course, and the press, who've been absolutely desperate for something to happen to keep the next election interesting. Let's not get into that. However, in the short term, the battle for the Rochdale constituency now features a number of unsavoury candidates, so much so it could perhaps be compared to Alien vs Predator. In what sense? Whoever wins, we all lose. Please stop referencing films in your reports. You just can't handle the truth. So if Keir Starmer's been having a bad week, does that mean that Rishi Sunak has been having a good week? Not especially. He's expected to lose 2 by-elections this week, the UK could be about to go into recession, inflation remains stubbornly high, but perhaps worst of all, he did a whole hour on GB News, which may have been the most incompetently produced political programme in UK history. What was wrong with it? Well, the constantly moving camera work threatened to give viewers seasickness, whilst rarely actually focusing on the Prime Minister's face, preferring instead to focus on his back and the mic pack that was tucked into his trousers. Okay. The audience had apparently been picked to give him fairly easy questions, and yet somehow still contained several colourful characters who threatened to derail the whole thing. Right. And perhaps worst of all, the presenter brought out a box at the end of the programme and then didn't have time to open it. What was in the box? Unclear. It may have been other questions from viewers, a comfy hiding place for the pint-sized PM, or perhaps most macabrely of all, Liz Truss's head. Stop referencing films. What film? 7. Never seen it. Sunak then flew back to London on an RAF jet just to really emphasise his man-of-the-people credentials. Thank you, Jonathan. Next up, as retailers warned that supplies of black tea are being affected by the Houthi attacks on shipping in the Red Sea, we speak to a prominent Brexiter MP who says he can't understand why they don't just source it all from Yorkshire, because that's where all of his tea comes from.